Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. KO. Here's the cover.
Hey, what's up, everyone? And it's been a hot minute, I know. But this is kind of an update video on what's happening with the channel. More specifically, I guess, than me. But, because of that, what's happening with the channel, which has been a whole lot of nothing, as you all know, obviously. Haven't posted a video since the last one where I said I was going to start posting it again, which was 2 months ago now, I think. And the reason behind that is a couple things that I'm going to dive into in this video, but to keep it short and sweet, and for anybody that doesn't want to watch an entire 16-minute video, in terms of content, producing it anymore, I don't foresee that happening too much, unfortunately, just because of other things in life, more or less, I guess. All good things, just more passionate about other things than World of Tanks. And it's less so about the 6.0 fiasco. I know some people are going to probably say that's why. It's not entirely why at all. It adds a little bit to it, but it's a very small portion of it, if I'm honest. So, diving into it, channel's probably not going to be very active, if at all, for the foreseeable future. Just straight up honest with you all. I'm not going to BS you at all here. So it's unfortunate I even got removed from the CC program just because it wasn't being active. It's not unsurprising at all. If you guys do want to still watch World of Tanks console content, I'd highly recommend guys I always play with. So you got Swindle, Petty, Randy, all those guys that are still cranking out content pretty regularly now. And all have kind of very much the same views as I do with the game, hence why we all play together and get along and have a good time together. But just for me, I've kind of lost passion for the game, if I'm honest. Granted, I did play yesterday. If you did catch that stream, it was pretty hilarious. Actually had a good time on the game, but that was mostly just because we were not taking it very seriously and just having a laugh in a lot of very broken tanks, such as something like the Derpwell that we're playing in this game. But, wouldn't be surprised to see that every once in a while, a little more often. If you do follow on Twitch, of maybe seeing me pop into one of their streams or even stream myself. That's more likely because it's a little easier for me. All I have to do is press a couple buttons and I can stream, versus producing videos takes an hour plus. Depending between the whole upload time and all that, and I just frankly don't have the time to do that between other things going on right now. So, would this have happened? This probably would have happened regardless if we had not had a wonderful pandemic anyways. The main reason for the lack of content, in my eyes, and it's pretty obvious if you're on the Plebs Discord, the clan Discord, which I'm still very active on, and I would highly recommend joining because still highly active on there. But I'm extremely into the outdoors. So anything with like backpacking, hiking, do a lot of rock climbing, a lot of landscape photography now, actually. So I spend a lot more time doing that, especially on the weekends, obviously, and also doing some big trips the past couple weeks. Even 3 weeks ago, if you do follow me on, I guess, Twitter or whatever, I posted a couple videos or pictures, and even the announcement I put on YouTube. Visited North Rim of the Grand Canyon, Zion National Park, Bryce Canyon National Park, and a few other places for about a week out there doing some hiking and other sightseeing. And it's something I've always been more passionate about, is getting outside and just enjoying the outdoors. Not trying to be cliche, but it's just where I feel more at home, I guess. So, and I'm just much more passionate about it than World of Tanks pretty much ever. And now that I have time and we're more able to travel, especially with airlines and everything like that, it's something that is going to be a lot more frequent for me. So with that, weekends go out the door for me most of the time. This weekend right now is very rare. Just decided to stay home just to take a break from driving everywhere. Because I did actually drive and do some other hikes last weekend after getting back from that trip out west in the U.S. And just something I'm much more, like I said, passionate and enjoy a lot more than sitting on tanks and not doing it. It's more fun for me. And combine that with also doing rock climbing or bouldering, which is another thing I greatly enjoy because it gets me outside once again, and it keeps me extremely active personally. And that's another thing that's great for me. And I've also met a lot of great people doing it, so that's what I've been doing or focusing more on. It's just hanging out with friends, doing some climbing, other things amongst many, many things. But that is the gist of it. In terms of the other stuff I'm doing, along with hiking comes the photography stuff that I've been kind of trying to improve on a ton. It's kind of a really passionate hobby that I would love to have be an actual career. I doubt it ever will be, but you never know. Even plan to set up maybe a website sometime this year that's a little more dedicated to the one I have right now, which is more or less a hosted site that you can just kind of plug and play pictures into. But anyway, with the climbing also, that requires me, I extremely, I don't want to say passionate again, but I pursue it very heavily and I train very, very frequently for it because it's very, very physically demanding. So I'm always training like an athlete at this point, 3 times a week in the gym, training for that, plus stuff at home. So just trying to stay very, very active and be the best rock climber I can be, because I'm very, very competitive, if you haven't already noticed that. With tanks, even though climbing's a single-person sport, it is something that I always want to be better at, and I take that same mentality from tanks. I guess that's just everything that's kind of like a sport or competitive. I try to be the best that I can be in it. I guess that's partially a reason why I like to think I'm really good at tanks. It's because I always try to push myself to be better. Always trying to go after a different challenge in the game. However, it kind of varies. But as we were just continually derping shells into these poor bastards at like 200 meters per second. So this is hilarious gameplay. But things like this will always give me a laugh. For the actual reason in game that kind of led me away from the game, I guess. Like I said, there's other reasons, or much, much more the reason of why I've kind of shifted away from playing the video games a ton to playing or to doing the outdoor stuff more. It's something I've always been doing since I was like 5 years old, so like almost 21 years. So jumping into this, Tanks 6.0. Complete catastrophe. We all know that. Terrible. My opinion, terrible update. Did a lot to just to turn back the tide on the game. Absolutely just not good. I could still play the game. I still did for quite a while afterwards even. I played for like 3 months until like February pretty consistently still. And it was fine. It was obviously very buggy. It's still kind of janky, but I still enjoyed it playing with the group of friends that I have, and just overall still had a good time. Just found myself wanting to play solo less and less and less, and always having to have someone to play with, because frankly I used to play solo a ton on this game, just because I enjoyed trying to carry the games by myself. Not trying to be selfish, but it was just something I like to challenge myself to do. And it can be very challenging, as we all know, to carry World of Tanks teams. But it was something it was just fun to do. So, but with 6.0, there was just so much that was negative, so much got changed. The HUD, the janky glitches that are going on with the gun being shot up in the air after food runs out, the complete lack of maps, just all the maps being removed, and just a lot of unnecessary or unasked for stuff getting added to the game, like 3D commanders, stuff like that. Cold War, which is just not my cup of tea at all. If it is yours, fantastic. But for me, driving around in tanks that just can RBRT anything on the move at like 70 kilometers an hour, everything doing that, pinpoint accuracy, does not really suit me. And that was another thing. Just the game felt like the skill level went way down with how the crew skills work, how accurate guns can be now, between the crews, the skills, the equipment, everything to snapshots. Aiming is very, very minimally important, it feels like, if I'm honest. It's really just a turn off for me. Maybe it's played up in my head a little bit, but it's just something that didn't sit right with me. I know I'm listing all these reasons why I don't like 6.0, but again, I promise, yes, it is a reason that maybe want to play the game less, definitely. Is it even close to being the biggest reason of why I'm not playing much anymore? No, not at all. Like I said, I've just always been super passionate about the outdoors, and I knew once the COVID stuff has started to die down, and just enjoying time outside has been much more of a preference and a priority for me, as I train for climbing and everything like that. Also for a long distance hike that I'm planning in the fall that could be upwards to 100 miles, depending on which trail I do. So trying to get in shape for that also. And then I'm also working full time, so it's, just trying to balance everything of what I actually matters to me. And also, there was a session when I was playing tanks that I really questioned why if I was playing it. I'm playing video games to have fun, have a good time. And I had one session where I think I was playing solo, and I was kind of losing my cool quite a bit. I was saying things that I was just like, man, why am I saying, like, why am I playing this game if I'm getting this upset by it? And yes, I'm competitive. I'm okay with raging a little bit. It's fine to be a little competitive and get a little upset sometimes. But some of the stuff I said during, I think, one of the streams or one of the sessions I had before our playing time like really disappeared, just I sat back afterwards. I was like, that's not me. That's just not me at all. I was like, man, what the hell are you saying? And I was like, no, I need to stop. I need to take a step back, and basically have. I was like, it just sounded very angry, very up. I don't know. Yeah, just angry playing the game, and you should be having fun. It's a video game. That's the point of it, is to have fun and release some stress, not create stress or a ton of stress. So that's kind of another reason. I was like, man, this isn't quite digging it for me. So took a step back for that reason too, and definitely been much happier in terms of that. Just enjoying doing the things, like I said, that I really truly enjoy. And I do enjoy tanks. I've played for 7 years plus, so there's no doubt this game has been awesome for me. And I do plan to still play occasionally. I'm not going to play nearly as much as I used to. This is not, just no way. I have no way to balance all that. But I will occasionally pop in other people's streams and maybe even stream myself. But the content is definitely on YouTube going to take a big hit, as it has. So don't expect much or if any content on the channel. It kind of sucks, but again, I highly recommend checking out all those other guys. I don't foresee this being the final video, but just don't expect a ton or a lot at all. So I appreciate what all you guys are here for. I really, really do. It's been awesome. But yeah, just don't expect a ton. That's all I can say. At the end of this video, I slapped some pictures I took from my recent trip, just to show, I guess, what I've been doing while the channel has been inactive. So hopefully you guys enjoy some of those. As here we go. That's from the north rim of the Grand Canyon, also north rim of the Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon National Park, also Bryce for sunrise, very, very early start for that one, and a lot of switchbacks going down the trail here. And after we finished our hike, did a couple stops on the rim there and caught sunset also at Bryce Canyon a couple times. And this is Zion National Park in Utah. So Utah and Arizona is where I went for about 8 days, 9 days, and did a ton of hiking, ton of photography stuff, and just enjoying myself a little bit more, or a ton. Love this stuff. Love doing this. Seeing things like this is awesome, at least in my opinion, for what I love to do. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Hopefully it explains what is happening, and hopefully I'll get you guys in a stream or later on down the road. So peace, and catch you next time. Maybe.